We create a pretend world. We are a global production company. We write the screenplay. We're the directors. We're the producers. We're the main actors. The world is our stage.
This is Mossad's old office. Its motto from Proverbs 24:6 says in so many words, wage war through deception and trickery, kind of like the CIA's smoke and mirrors, which is what this operation was all about.
Another day, another psychological operation from the chosen people. It seems that they are continuing this agenda of rage baiting with the intent to entrap you, and whoever is not a part of their tribe, to gain more power in our government legally. I know I spoke about this in my previous video, but I have to say it again because a lot of you guys are still falling for it. Their tactic, a method that they've used as old as time itself, is the victim narrative. And the way they are portraying themselves as victims right now is due to the obvious controlled opposition plans they have placed in the mainstream. These particular people start to speak out against a certain country and ethnic group around the same time. Here are a few of them. Candace Owens, who has direct ties to the Roman Catholic Church, recently converting to Catholicism, as well as her father-in-law being part of the UK House of Lords, which is a part of the UK Parliament. Tucker Carlson, whose father was a US ambassador to Seychelles for over a year, and Tucker himself admits to being in Nicaragua during the Iran-Contra scandal in the 1980s. Nick Fuentes, grifter of the alt-right, whose surname could possibly be tied to a Sephardic lineage. And of course, my personal favorite, Charlie Kirk, popular conservative figure who up until very recently was very supportive of Not Real, then switched unexpectedly. That's very interesting, isn't it? Very coincidental, I might say. These personalities are all assets of Not Real, masquerading as truth seekers and rebels, going far to expose some truths, but never far enough to actualize any real change. This is not done by coincidence. These figures act not only as a pressure release valve, but also as the bait of a malicious honeypot operation meant to target those disillusioned with Not Real's policies in the Middle East, as well as the teachings and beliefs of the chosen people in general. Because of the outrage, mostly fueled by scripted events and conspiracy-fueled posts on social media, Not Real and the Khazarian Mafia as a whole use these negative ideas about their dealings to muddy the waters and also claim victimhood so that they can implement laws which target people who speak against them as a hate crime. Currently in the US, there are multiple congressional laws being passed to help protect the chosen people in the fight against anti-chosen people-ism, and as well as digital ID being implemented across the US, as well as our government's multi-billion-dollar deal with Palantir. Now they'll know who's on their side or who is not. And not only just them, but our government is setting up the Beast Kingdom in real time. Soon you won't be able to buy or sell or participate in society without having a digital ID or a mark or being tracked by Palantir. It is all going according to their plan. And it's very interesting how Palantir's logo is a reference to the Lord of the Rings Palantir scrying stone, which can see anywhere and anyone in far and distant places. But now, instead of fantasy, this has become reality. This is the final goal of the Freemasons and of the Saturnian cult worshippers, to artificially establish Lucifer as God over the world through technology. That is why we have seen this push into industrialization and post-enlightenment scientific and technological breakthroughs in the past 200 years. And also why the chosen people have appropriated and continue to appropriate themselves into biblical prophecy. With the Balfour Declaration and the founding of Israel as a nation in 1948, they believed themselves to fulfill the prophecies seen in Isaiah 11:11. And just like with Isaiah, the reason why they have allowed all of this anti-chosen people-ism content when in the past, they could just censor it, and they did censor it, and why they're starting these wars in, with Iran and all this stuff, is to falsely fulfill Zechariah 14:2. And let me read this real quick. It says, "For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle." They actually believe that manufacturing hate against themselves, targeting children, and starting wars against the Muslim world will trigger the Battle of Armageddon, where God will save them from the evil Gentile armies of the world, which hate them for no reason at all. Yeah, it's absolute insanity. And from there, their Messiah will rule the world so that they can finally coin clip in peace. Hallelujah, dude. I know I'm being a little facetious, but it's very apparent to me that their Messiah is actually Lucifer, and that's why they're setting up this entire system to establish him as their leader and Messiah over the new world. Remember that in the Bible, Lucifer's sin, which got him kicked out of heaven, was that he wanted to be like God. He wanted to be like the Most High. Isaiah 14:14. He is imitating the Most High God and his sovereign authority, but instead of doing it in heaven because he was kicked out, he has to do it here on earth, and we the humans will be the ones who will give him worship. This is what is meant by the pyramid symbology that is on the back of the dollar bill and in the eye providence or horse. They are building the pyramid, which is the system we know of, to reach the capstone, which is Lucifer, the eye of Sauron, acting like the Most High, who can see everything, hear everything, and know everything through this technology. This is why the pyramid on the dollar bill is not fully completed. They are putting on their finishing touches and placing the last bricks needed for this new world order of Lucifer to become a reality. And to create this new world order, they have to destroy the old world, which is why we're fighting this pointless war in the Middle East. The goal is to cause massive geopolitical tension. These policies will thrust not only the US, but the entire world into World War III. And there, from the ashes, will their Luciferian, technocratic, mass surveillance New World Order finally form. This is why the chosen people want you to hate them. They believe that it's a fulfillment of their prophecy, that their Messiah will come when all the nations will hate them and gather around against them. Then their Messiah will not only bring peace to the Middle East, but the entire earth, and will rule the world with an iron fist in this technocratic, palantir, mass surveillance state world order, which they have already created for him. They're just waiting for him to appear on the scene. This is why I say you have to prepare. We really are truly living in the end times, and that all of these events need to happen before the true Messiah, Jesus Christ of Nazareth, comes back and truly saves the world.